Okay, pound dollar over here, nothing has changed as well, right? Last week was pretty quiet for the FX side because of NFP, nothing much as well. So this whole setup is still valid. Okay, we're still seeing it 1, 2, 3, right? Ideally, we want this to go slow. So this is still there. We'll keep it. Okay, pound franc is also there. Okay, we'll keep it. Same thing, pending order, nothing has changed. Stops nothing has changed. We're still waiting for the breakout on the pound franc. Okay, so this one here, we'll keep it. Okay, euro pound. Okay, very nice as well. You can see how this is falling down very slow. As of last week, nothing much has shifted. Okay, I will consider to kind of squeeze this even to this low here. Okay, which brings our kind of stop loss risk to reward ratio a little bit more attractive. Okay, now this one here, we're gonna put it to 8520. Okay, so we're gonna shift this down by 15 pips. Okay, the stops are still the same at this minor low. Okay, we're just editing our entry to kind of like play around with the new development of price, right? To increase our risk to reward ratio more attractive. Okay, another one that we got in is pound dollar, right? So what I like about this is that it has this very clear three-way structure, right? It's doing some kind of reaction right now, right? We have a tiny bit of drawdown, but I think that's, you know, perfectly fine, right? We are in this zone of 1.3884 to 1.3926, around that zone. That's where we expect price to react. Okay, right now it seems like it's coming down a little bit. Okay, so that's a quick update on this tree. Okay, the other two here is still pending. Okay, I'll update you guys as we progress. I want to keep you guys all updated with the active trade first. Okay, so that's a quick update. Everything is running pretty well so far. Short-term trades here looking great as well. Okay, so with that, let me update you guys with these two positions on the pending. Okay, so stock sides, more or less, those are the updates. Okay, this is pound franc. Okay, so pound franc actually came very close to our entry, right? We were looking at around 1.3. It almost missed it by, I think, less than a pip, right? But it didn't get trigger. Okay, overall, I think this is still valid. Okay, we can definitely shift our stops tighter depending on where the price moves for today, but I think for now, let's just keep it there. Okay, so pound franc, nothing. Okay, everything is still intact. I still like that this is going up very slow because the probability is due to the downside. Okay, so I'll keep this pending order over here, pound franc. Okay, nothing has changed in terms of the entire analysis. Euro pound, we were looking to buy, but this just keep going down. But you do realize that this move down is not fast, right? It's absolutely very slow. The divergence is there, right? So what is telling me is that eventually the probability remains intact. It's still upside over here. Okay, so the idea here is, of course, where are we going to set our entry for the break, so that we can get it early, but at the same time not too aggressive. Okay, now I would say that we can keep our entry there, but I think we'll adjust our stops a little bit to perhaps increase it to the low. Okay, somewhere around here. I think that's a little bit more you know, conservative. Okay, the risk to reward is still there. It's still 1:4.4. I think it's perfectly fine. Okay, so let me update this a little bit. The entry is of the same as yesterday. Okay, the only thing that changed is our stop, right? So 852 is still our entry. The stop loss here we're gonna put at 8470. Pound dollar also a solid move to the downside, right? So we'll keep it there and see how it goes. Ideally, what we want is that after this small little correction that's happening right now, price just keep falling. Okay, so nothing much. Pound franc is also another solid trade. Okay, so what I like about this again is straight off impulse push, right? That's exactly all the trades that we want to see. Okay, so again, shift this to break even. After this small consolidation, we expect this to keep falling. Okay, euro pound, very straightforward as well. Okay, shift this to break even already. Let's see how far this can run, right? Again, very solid trade to the upside. Okay, very straightforward. These are the ideal, again, you know, we always do journaling, right? And these are the exact trades that you want to put it into your journal. okay, because these are what we call ideal, right? Once we get in immediately, that's that impulse that comes in. Okay, so simple, straightforward trades on this here running. Another one that's running so far very good is, okay, it's on pound dollar. Okay, so you can see I like that impulse push. What I also like is that you can see how price has actually also impulsively broke off this entire flag structure, right? Right now it's consolidating at the bottom. Okay, so yesterday I updated on the Facebook group. We are shifting our stops to kind of protect a bit of our profits. Okay, we have shifted here yesterday. Today, I would suggest that we can continue shift it slightly lower, okay, towards 3795. Okay, so this one here, if you're following, shift it to 3795. Okay, to protect whatever profits that we have. Ideally, what we want is that price doesn't really come back up, right? Because if it does, then we have a V shape anyway we want to get out. Okay, but what we want to see is basically just a sideways move like that, and then it continued to start going lower. Okay, so this one here, just manage your trade accordingly. Okay, pound franc is another very solid trade. Okay, if you take a look at the 4-hour time frame, this is again a very simple breakout strategy, right? You have that crawl. Okay, we are near the top of the structure, and then that's where the breakout happened. Very clean move. What I need to be, or what I would say we will want to be cautious is, of course, right now it has come towards this minor low. Okay, and that's where market tends to react, right? You can see how it can potentially starts to form that V shape. Okay, but let's see how it goes. The downside is still there. Okay, so you can see the daily chart, right? You can still potentially come down towards this area. So what I would suggest is we'll just shift our stops. Okay, yesterday we have shifted, lower. Okay, today somewhere around here, right? Today I would suggest that we can actually move it somewhere around the 2.8 level. Let me just see. I wouldn't want to over squeeze it as well. Yeah, this looks a bit tight. Okay, so again, over here in terms of like trailing stops, right? There's no right answer to it, but I think back to how aggressive you want in protecting your profits. Okay, the usual framework that I use is we always shift towards like structure high and lows, right? So somewhere around here. Okay, yesterday I think somewhere around here, that's the structure high, right? Around 885. And then of course you can see another small structure low here, and then of course this is another structure. Okay, but what I'm thinking is that will this forms more like a correction and then a move down, and then will you be tagged out too early if we kind of like shift it a little bit too aggressive? Okay, that's the only thought process that I have right now. Okay, in terms of like where should I shift it? Okay, so I think let's not squeeze this trade too much. Let's keep our stop around. Yeah, let's just keep it here, right? Let's just keep it here, right? 2885. Okay, so let's shift that to 1.285. Okay, we don't want to over squeeze that. Okay, yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so if ideally today it should just form a quick correction over here, and then from there it starts going down. Okay, now let's say if market starts to go up like V-shape impulsively, okay, you might want to be maybe a little bit more discretionary in your trailing stop, and maybe if you see a V-shape formation, you do not need to wait it to come up here, right? If let's say it's somewhere around here and you see a very strong V-shape, you can close off that trade, right? Because then this would likely form maybe a deeper correction before the draw. Okay, so let's see how it goes. Euro pound. Okay, over here again, you can see very clean move to the upside, right? Very strong impulse push after a very nice crawl. So again, we're gonna protect our capital and profits. Okay, so yesterday we have shifted it to break even and a little bit. So today, I would suggest that we shift it towards somewhere around here. Okay, 8580. Okay, so what I see is that this can potentially be maybe a bigger corrective pattern. Okay, so somewhere around here should be safe enough, right? But if let's say this comes down as a V shape, you might want to, again, same thing as pound franc, maybe be a little bit discretionary and close off that trade earlier to kind of capitalize more on it. Okay, so this one here, 8580. Okay, so that's basically all the trades here. We are protecting our profits. Okay, so quick update on that. Okay, pound dollar, it's doing nicely right now. Okay, what I like about it is that it's doing its consolidation at the bottom of the structure. Okay, so yesterday we did shift the stops to 1.3795. Okay, 1.3795. So we'll keep it there. Okay, ideally what we want to see is that this just continue doing sideways and then continue moving lower. Okay, now for now, the target here, I suggest that we just keep it. Not much of a change, right? I think daily there's still huge room to the downside, but for now we'll give it time. And if let's say this push down a little bit more, then we'll have that chance to kind of edit our take profit. Okay, if you are taking a look at like shorter time frame, 1 hour, right? There might be a potential scale in. Okay, but I wouldn't want to be too aggressive on the pound dollar for now. So I'll suggest that while the opportunity is there to scale in, we'll give it another day, which means that likely we'll see how it develops today. Maybe next week we have a potential to scale in. Okay, so pound dollar here, we'll just keep it. Pound franc is running pretty nicely. Okay, so let me remove some of these lines. Yesterday on the Facebook group, we updated to shift our stops to 1.28. Okay, so from here, we continue to shift it towards this low here, somewhere around 1.28, right? So pretty solid run. Okay, what I like about this, again, this is very, very impulsive, right? But eventually, we're going to see a much bigger correction. Okay, so pound franc here, if you take a look at the daily, the downside is definitely there, right? You can see. Okay, so we are just mainly targeting right now for short term this low. Okay, that's where you see the target here is. Okay, we'll adjust accordingly. For now, we'll see how it goes first, right? So let's leave this here. Okay, just an update for those of you who didn't follow through on the Facebook yesterday. Okay, continue to shift your stops lower towards 1.28. Okay, euro pound here as well, another very solid trade. Okay, so again, this is like case studies, right? Okay, very good and very nice impulse push. So yesterday again, I've updated to shift stops to 8620. Okay, so from here we continue to shift it up towards this low around 8620 here, right? Okay, what I like also, again, this is very impulsive on a daily time frame here. Again, if it breaks this, let me move this a bit, right? If it breaks this high, okay, obviously it's not going to just go straight up like that, right? It's going to go impulse correction. But if it can break off this impulsively, okay, then the upside is really, really great, right? Let's see how it goes first. Again, I think same as pound franc. We'll give it a couple of days, today and maybe Monday next week, and see how price develop. If let's say the chance of this breaking up this high is there, we'll edit our take profit. But for now, we'll just keep it there. Okay, so again, every time we see some kind of big move like that, do expect kind of like a deeper correction, right? And if let's say the correction hits our stops and we got out, okay, based on trailing stops, that's perfectly fine as well, right? Anyway, you take a look at the risk reward, all is already more than 1:2, right? Very, very solid trade.